This is a Hoover Junior 119. It is a very pretty Hoover Junior 119 sitting there looking so lovely. Would you think that just a short while ago it looked like this? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is correct. Today's video is the after video of the Heywood Church 119 restoration project. Let me show you what I've done. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? This has been possibly the most in-depth restoration that I have done. I won't lie. Partly because before I wouldn't have bothered. But as you can see from the paintwork, I've had an epiphany. Tell you what it is during this video. But yeah, normally a cleaner in its condition, I wouldn't bother. It would be broken up for spares. It's come out really, really well, and as you can see, it looks basically like a very good condition Hoover Junior should. Let us start with what I have done, and we'll start from the top, because if you remember, the handle grip was trashed, as they can be. Luckily, Hoover, a couple of years after this, did a Junior that had a brown handle grip as standard. See one on my channel. So it has a nice 1346 or similar handle grip, which looks fine. Really, it's just not white. I mean, you know, it'd be nice to have an original, but I didn't have any, and obviously it's not going to a collector. Yeah, a little bit there, but I couldn't stick a white one on. Black would have been preferable. But yeah, brown. Coming down. Well, if we loosen off the flex and remove it from the cord hooks, you will see that it is different. Flex, of course, couldn't have allowed that cable to have been reused, sadly. It was just knackered. So it has a nice new piece of just modern black flex, really. You know, not a lot we can do there, but I did keep the original plug. There it is, look, Volex Temco. Gorgeous. It's also got the original fuse in it, I think. I don't think... Oh, I haven't got a screwdriver small enough. Hang on. Because there are a fair few of you who like looking at the plugs. Fair enough. I mean, it's not something I sort of personally like, but I do appreciate, you know, the quality. Look at that. There we go. The original Temco 13 amp fuse in it. Wired up very nicely, I'm sure you'll agree. So yes, there we go. So yeah, the original plug. The only slight annoyance is that the live pin is moulded into the plug as a whole, so I couldn't polish it. Yes, I do polish the pins of plugs. Why not? I polish everything else metal on the machines. It's negligible to run these through it, look, but yeah, sadly the live isn't polished, but everything else is. So yes, we have power. What else do we have? Well, we have a little bit of wax on there. I haven't given it its final buffing. I'll be putting fingerprints on it all throughout this video. The original bag. Save this one. It's really good condition, apart from there's a few small holes. Has also been HEPA flowed. Yes, if we twist off this, we can see a Dyson internal hose, and it works better with the plastic bit on the end that, you know, normally pushes onto the changeover valve. I didn't have that, so a bit of insulation tape, and yeah, this allows us to look at the bag, and as you can see, it's still damaged. You know, there's nothing I can really do about that. But it's not the end of the world, because inside, if I is a SIBO bag. So it's just cable tied into there. Works really, really well, I think. So we'll just stick that all back in there. Oof. The problem with these old bags is they move around. There we go. That has seen a repaint. It's not the best, but then I'm not the best at painting, so you know, it looks better than it did. Cannot deny that. The handle has been painted. The handle bail has been painted, and again there's still bits, any bits of pink you see is wax, so ignore that. But yeah, everything has been painted. It is a fairly good job, I would say. Moving around, we have the Bakelite. This is how the back just came up with a wash and a polish, really. Lovely. Obviously there's a hole, we need to address that in a minute. On to the front. Now this was the bit that I was always worried about, because I've never painted properly in my life. I can do brush rolls, just never done a full-on hood, especially not when it had a hand finish, it was in a certain shade of gold. So I don't actually have anything to compare it to. I've got a picture of this, so I'll put a picture up showing this next to an original Hoover Junior. You can't tell. I mean, it's a lovely finish. The colour is spot on. It is Hammerite copper. The paint, not the spray. And like I say, from afar, it looks perfect. Up front, I mean, if you knew what you were looking for, yeah. But compared to what it was, I'm sorry, but I'm very happy with that. We have a better, couldn't get hold of a mint one. They're actually surprisingly rare to find now. So we have a better belt guard. Inside, look, I painted behind where you can see with the belt guard off, because why not? So that looks nice. We have the belt running to the brush roll. Yes, this is the same brush roll. Try to turn this the right way so it doesn't pop the belt off. The same brush roll, look. With its, I actually put a slightly better brush strip in one. It had gone soft, so I got the old box of stuff out and did a better brush roll strip. But apart from that, it has literally just been cleaned. The only new parts that this machine has seen so far are a pair of brush roll bearings, that handle grip, the cable, one carbon brush holder. You see that one there is brown, well this one the other side is black. The brush roll strip, that's it. It's needed very little, which goes to prove that even a machine that was in its condition, which even for my channel was quite something, doesn't ever need much to get going. But what it does need is, and I wasn't happy with the old one, a switch. Yes, I found this, the original switch. It works, but it just wasn't very good. It was a bit spongy. So £7 later, a nice, genuine, but old stock, used switch. In fact, I've got the red top bit over there. So what we should do is I shall bring you down and we'll fit the switch, and then we can have a look at what the inside looks like. Because remember, I showed that before as well, and that was filthy. Not anymore. Now to fit the switch on one of these is really very simple. We should recline this in a manner that you can see it and I can work in it. There we go. And then we shall take off our lovely 2 screws underneath this impeccable casing. I mean, it now doesn't look quite as nice because I have plastered it in fingerprints, but I'll get those off before it gets boxed up and sent back. wonder what they'll think of it. Anyway, inside is spotless. Oh, you're down there now, aren't you? Absolutely spotless. You see the new cable going in. Obviously can't do anything about that, sadly. But everything else is beautiful. What you can also see is the small bodge that I did. Actually, it's not a bodge. It is a bypass. I bypassed the switch just to check it. Obviously after I refurbished it. Uh-oh. Oh, crumbs. Oh, it's there. I thought that had dropped straight into the big hole in there that goes into the front of the fan. That would have suddenly made this video 50 times longer. So yeah, if you ever get one of these with a broken or suspect switch, all you have to do is just bridge these two terminals and it'll run. Because that's all the switch does when you turn it on. So there is my sacrificial piece of wire. Don't need you anymore. And we need to take our switch, although first I think we need to take off the plate. It's quite handy that it came with a new plate because the one this had was quite rusty. So that works well. And then see, I don't know whether that's in the right place or not, because that will dictate how the switch sits. And you've basically just feed it up there and then it pops out the top. And you stick this on, which is a little bit fiddly because this back bit's got to sit, there we go, in first, then push the switch up, then put the nut on. And I find a 10mm spark plug socket fits absolutely fine. Once you get it onto its first threads, it is a bit of a fiddle. There we go. And just spin it on. It doesn't need to be torqued up to 30 pound-foot torque or anything. It's just enough to stop the switch from wobbling about. Now the bit that I hate is fitting this, the switch cap. Oh God, I just look at my focus setting. I think it's just because there's too much going on. This is very exciting, isn't it? And that goes up into the top, and underneath, that clip there has to go underneath that clip there. It's great fun, especially when it doesn't go in first time. Like that. There isn't really a trick to it as well, it is just hoping. Hoping and praying, and you can get to the back of the clip to sort of pry it back on itself and hope. But you're also going to be very careful not to snap the solid thing as well. So we need to exercise a... no, oh, that nearly had it then. It's like the smallest screwdriver I have, and it's... just a little bit too big. Let me pause and get this in. So that, just that V there has to go behind. However, the pain then is when you get it all clipped on nicely and it doesn't click. So it's got to come off, that nut's got to come off, we've got to back that screw, the underneath bolt back a bit to raise the height of it. I won't film that bit, we'll come back and see if it clicks. And after doing all that again, hopefully, it should click. Now I've no idea if it's on or off. So we'll worry about that in a bit. And then it's literally just a case of any wire to any terminal now, doesn't matter. So we'll put the screw in. I mean, I think you can get pattern switches for these. I think the actual switch itself was present in lots of Hoover uprights, just wrapped up in, you know, different casings. But don't quote me on that, because I've never actually had to replace that many. I mean, I had one where the whole switch casing had split. And we had ones like this where, you know, it's just a bit gummed up. I should probably try and take one apart. See if it's like the Vactric, where the switch housing seems to be riveted together, but it's actually screwed. And that was made by Arrow as well. And then find the thread. And do up the screw. Do up the other screw. And it's done, folks. Time to see what it sounds like now, because it didn't sound great before. The bearings were so dry. So dry. But now it sounds just a little bit different. So, put these bottom two screws on, I shall readjust and, well, we may as well, we'll stick with this carpet because it's quite deep pile. I cheated and made sure it was turned off. Nah. But not for long. Oh, it's not plugged in. Hang on. This also, come on. There we go. This also highlights a problem. It is dodgy, used, old, untested switches, because it is like this for a reason. It was plugged in. Better do it now. Yeah. There we go. Oh. We'll stick with it for now. It purrs like a kitten. Looks the part. Sounds the part. I can feel it vibrating this carpet and the floor beneath me. And you're working now. Excellent. Yeah. See what I found to do is tip it forwards. And then it comes on. Yay! Well, we'll either be finding out how to rebuild a switch or how to do an eBay claim thing very shortly, I suppose, but we won't let it stop this video because, hey, we're already here. I mean, you get used to doing that, wouldn't you? Oh, hello. There's something dodgy in the contacts of the switch. It's not the cable. Wow. It's magic. Right, we'll have enough of that for now. Before I do any damage. Right, so we still need a switch. Thank you. That'll teach me for being fancy and trying to fit it on camera to give you all a bit of a show. Oh, that shouldn't look like that. There we go. Yeah, but switch aside, that's an easy fix. Does look a lot better. Well, in fact, actually, no, that's not it for this. Okay, we are going to try and fire it back up again. So I just remembered, in amongst all the spares I bought for this and the other one I had, these are both done together. I got a spare toolkit there, which I'm probably going to give to the church because, well, heck, I've got no use for it. But, you know, they could dust the pews or blow out the altar or, you know, whatever else housekeeping wise has to be done in a church. Oh God, now panel, this is actually turned on. Hang on. Go. to fit these, you take the belt off, you line up the notch, and then there we go. No. And this hose still has a lot of its suction. So yeah, you know, they could and it can also be used as a mower. I didn't even touch the switch, which it's really good at. Let's just unplug that in case that's busy sparking away in there. So anyway, back to the summing up. Yeah, physically it's all there. I can't call it complete yet because of the switch issue, annoyingly. But I do know it's the switch because obviously I had it perma-wired and I did use it a fair bit and it was fine. So I just had a flash in my head that, oh hang on, is it the switch? It's not like the coil wire or something that involves the entire thing to be taken apart, but no, it will be the switch because it didn't do that before. So, you know, I might dig out the old switch and see if I can, because it wasn't doing the same, it just wasn't clicking properly, you know, full time. It took me, you know, in the video before, I was pushing it in the certain way that it liked, which I don't like sending a vacuum out, so I might see if I can get a more modern switch. It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I think I was sent one. But either way, that is a job for the future I shall get out of shot. So we can admire the magnificence of the Hoover Junior that thought it had died and gone to heaven, but actually no, it is still here, existing. I mean, I doubt it's going to be cleaning the church 7 days a week, twice a day on a Sunday. But I would really hope that it goes out on display maybe, you know, we've got to hide the tools, but the machine itself, like that, on display, you know, history. I don't know if it's been at the church from new or, you know, it's probably just given to them by somebody when it was, you know, an old cleaner in the 60s rather than bought new. But either way, it belongs there and I'm really, really happy to have had it. It's A, been one of the more in-depth refurbs I've ever done. B, wasn't the before video popular. Oh, I've never had one that popular that quickly before. And it's a sense of achievement. That thing will now last for another couple of years, decades, as long as it's not stored up in the loft again, which it probably won't be. So, and obviously it can be used. That's why it now has a HEPA bag in it. I mean, I don't buy into all the allergy stuff because I don't have allergies personally, so it's a bit of a selfish view. But it keeps the bag clean. You couldn't use that machine with its cloth bag without something else. It would just spew dirt everywhere. So that saves it, and obviously it makes it more hygienic to empty. I should tell them how to, if you tip it upside down first, then cut the cable tie, it stays fairly clean. So it's not the, you know, it's not a horrific job to empty them when they're like that. And it makes it usable. Nice modern cable so that you know, it can be used by anybody without fear of divine intervention. And yeah, most importantly of all, it looks quite cool. I'm very pleased with that Hammerite copper. I have now found I'm actually looking at now for a really ropey gold thing that I could paint. Might do my patio table it, but she is done. She is ready to go back. Thank you all for all your comments and little messages about it when the before video went live. It has been cool. I might definitely take on some more barn pot projects like it in the future, but it's done. Another one chalked off. And yet again, time for me to say thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.